Hello everybody, it is Nicole from iiKiui, and today I have a review video for you guys. So first I want to say that they sent me this item for free in exchange for an honest review. All opinions are my own and they are not biased in any way. I also want to apologize for not uploading a video last week. As many of you may know if you're updated with my social media, that I was very busy with school, and I still am. And I was also spending time with my family for the holiday break. I will keep trying my best to upload videos every Wednesday, but if I can't, then most likely the reason is that I'm busy with schoolwork, and school is my first priority, so I hope you guys understand that. Anyways, let's continue on with the review. So the product that I got was a light pad by the company named GAOMON, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but when I actually searched it up, the first thing that I got in images was Digimon, but that's not the company. They had contacted me a while back and I just got around to doing the review, so it would have been up sooner, but I apologize for it not being up sooner. I've actually been testing it out though in the time that I haven't been able to film it, and I have pretty positive results for this product. There are definitely pros and cons, and I will go over that in depth in the video. Now, in the beginning, you saw me unbox this from the box, and it comes in a pretty thin package. It is just the light pad and the USB cord, and it's surrounded by kind of like foam pieces. The dimension of the entire thing is approximately 15 by 11 inches, but the active area is approximately 13 by 9, a little more than that, but it's a pretty big area. It will fit a 9 by 12 or the standard 8.5 by 11 paper. It will not fit anything bigger, but you can always move the paper around just to get the active area where you wanted it to. It is a LED light pad and it's fairly thin. It's not as thick as my other light box that I have, but for a light pad, it's pretty light and it feels like it could be very travel friendly. The cord that it comes with is a USB cord. It's really long, so I do like that feature, especially because my desk is kind of far away from the outlet. However, I did lose the cord, so a phone charger actually worked in place of that. The charger that I use is a micro USB charger, and in case you don't know, that's also the same as like a Samsung phone charger. It's not the same as the iPhone chargers, so that's what I used in place of that. In case you do lose it, it is easy to replace. Now, the thing that I found most interesting about this product was actually the function where it can adjust the brightness. So for my light box, it only has one brightness, and that's super, super bright. Kind of blinding. But for this one, you just touch the power button in the top left corner. You tap it once, it'll turn on. If you press and hold, it will either go up in brightness or go down in brightness, depending on what your last setting was. If your setting was the brightest one, then it will go down, and if it's in the darker setting, then it will go up. Now, another good thing about this is after you turn it off by just tapping the power button once again, and you turn it back on the next time you use it, it will remember the brightness setting that you had previous. So I thought that was a pretty good function. So far, I've been using it for several projects. One of it's school related, and then some are just like personal projects, but it's been holding up pretty well. I've used this with animation paper, and it works with several layers of animation paper. There's also the sketch paper underneath marker paper, and that's worked pretty well as well. But today, when I tried to use it for this drawing that I'm doing right now, I actually drew on a kind of thicker piece of paper, has more texture to the surface, and it's a little thicker than normal copy paper. And when I tried to transfer that to a mixed media paper, which is fairly thick. It did not show up at all. I also tested with the sketch paper underneath the mixed media paper, and it still did not show up. So I'm not sure if it's because I didn't draw dark enough on the sketch paper, because I did draw in a kind of darkish blue, but I don't draw as hard as I used to. So maybe if you have a heavy hand in drawing, it would work better. But for my personal experience, it did not show through at all with a thicker paper. So instead of using a mixed media paper, I decided to go for the marker paper, which is already pretty thin, but I decided to use it in a different way. So before I get into the drawing part, let me just go over the pros and cons, and then we can go ahead and get into the drawing. So some of the pros that I found with this drawing light pad is that it has adjustable brightness, which is very useful, especially when you don't want to blind yourself every time you turn on the light pad. It is thin and light, which can be used for traveling. It's fairly light to bring along. It's not as heavy as the other light box that I have, which is about double in size and probably 3 times the weight. And lastly, it has a micro USB cord, which is very easy to replace or use something else with in case you lose it, like I have. The other light box that I have only has one cord, and you can't find it anywhere else, so that's a little difficult in case I did lose it. So that's a pro that this pad has. Now, some of the cons is that one, whenever I tend to swipe my hand across the power button, it just turns off. I know it is touch sensitive, and it's not a big deal, but that's just one of the things that I found a little bit annoying when I was doing my animation project. The second thing is that it doesn't work with thicker paper. Now, it could just be me, like I said, but when I did try it out with several thick pieces of paper, transferring a copy paper sketch underneath a mixed media paper, it didn't show through at all. I'm not sure if the light is strong enough to transfer that information through on the thicker paper. I had it on the brightest setting, so it didn't work. So that's something you want to consider if you work in thicker papers like watercolor, bristol, mixed media paper, stuff like that. For thin pieces of paper like copy paper, marker paper, sketch paper, those will work fine. It does work well with that. So that's something to keep in mind if you're thinking about purchasing this. Now that I'm done talking about the product, let's go ahead and talk about the drawing. So today I just wanted to draw something fun and something to get me out of my school zone, because if you guys know, I've been very busy with school and I'm basically just doing homework after homework assignment and projects and working on my finals, which is coming up. So only a couple more weeks and school is out, and then finally break. I decided to use the light box as a different kind of tool today. I didn't use it to trace anything exactly as the sketch had it. I decided to use it as a template for when I laid down the markers. Now, I don't usually do this because I've never tried it before, but it seemed like a fun idea, so I decided to go in with just the markers first, especially because the last time that I used marker paper, I had done the outline first, and when I put the marker down, it smeared it, so I didn't want this to happen again, so I decided to do the pen part last. So today I decided to do a mermaid based on a flower. I'm not sure what the flower is. I just decided to make it up. I think it's a lily. I don't know. It's something I saw before, and it was a little bit inspired by the Little Mermaid when she puts the orange flower in her hair. The color scheme that I went for was an orange and blue, and also a yellow. And the reason for this was just so it would contrast more. I know a lot of you guys have been saying that my art lacks a lot of contrast, so I decided to try out something else. And even though it doesn't have a lot of shading, I still think the colors pop out a lot more because of the high contrasting color. So that's all I have to say about this drawing. Overall, I really liked how it turned out, and it turned out better than expected, so that's a good thing. If you are considering getting this product, all the links will be down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you had a great holiday break and are looking forward to the one coming soon. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!